You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Beyond the Gates fans, I have got your full roster of weekly spoilers for Monday, May 5th, all the way through Friday, May 9th, along with some preemption news. We have got Eva absolutely guilt-stricken and Bill facing some backlash for some evil that he is done over and above other evil that we know he's done in the past. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you are not following us, please reach down, click that subscribe button. Let's dive right in. Monday, May 5th is season 1, episode 47 of Beyond the Gates. So as Friday ended, we had bad girl Leslie show up at the Dupree's door. How did she get in there? Isn't that the upside to living in a gated community? I appreciate the gate where I live, keeps out people trying to sell you stuff and, although I will say the downside is it keeps out Girl Scouts, and I love Girl Scout cookies. So yeah, downsides and upsides to gated communities. But Leslie's there, and the question is, are they going to listen or are they just going to call security? Because she's got more bombshells to drop about Ted and Nicole and everything that happened. And as all this explodes, it's going to leave the Dupree family fractured and wondering if they'll ever be able to put themselves back together. So, Vernon may want to toss her out, and Anita's there, Naomi's there, I think Dani's there. So will the family listen to Leslie's accusations? Because, information is power. So maybe they should find out exactly everything that she's saying. Because, Ted's probably not going to come clean on all this. And while Leslie may be lying about some of it, maybe they can find the truth somewhere in the middle, but only if they listen to her. But they should just kick her out. She is doing wicked really well, by the way. So everyone's scrambling to pick up the pieces while Nicole is reeling from this betrayal that she's just found out about. And of course, Ted keeps appealing to Nicole, but she's not interested. Martin is sick with rage at his dad over this. Kat's mad at her dad too. It feels like Ted is about to lose everything. I wonder if he's going to go back over and threaten Leslie for blowing up his life, but it's done now. Kat is taking a look at the DNA report that Eva shows her. She showed it to her on Friday. That's going to pick up again on Monday. Of course, Kat's going to be reeling. She just wants to believe that Eva and Leslie are con women. I don't think she buys all of this. Maybe some of it, like maybe Leslie did sleep with her dad, but she definitely doesn't want to believe that Eva is Ted's child. And I don't think she's going to accept it. And this week, Eva doesn't want to go home to her crazy lying mom, Leslie. And it looks like she's going to head to her cousin Andre's place for some refuge. I guess is that what he said on Friday? They're cousins. She goes to somebody's door and it looks like Andre. She said she has no place else to go. And he was really the only person that was nice to her at all. Then, unfortunately, we have 2 more days this week of UEFA soccer preemption. If you care about European football, you could watch it on ESPN. I said this last week when they had the 2 preemptions. It's just, this is what ESPN is for. It's like, don't break into our soaps for news unless it's something, truly significant for the entire nation. And don't break in for sports, especially not soccer. Moving on to Thursday, May 8th, we have a new episode of Beyond the Gates, Season 1, Episode 48. So Nicole remains distraught at this 2-decade-old betrayal that has circled back around to bite Ted and blow up their lives. And if you remember the timing of this, Nicole was at a low point over miscarriages. If you've ever had one, or if you know somebody who has, I had a couple. It's awful. And that's at the point Ted started the affair with Leslie, which is just horrific. And the fact that Martin was little and he remembers meeting Leslie, it's just all so twisted. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. Nicole's not going to tolerate this. She's publicly humiliated. She thought her marriage was perfect. And, obviously Ted learned his lesson and was a better husband after that. But also also kind of a terrible human if even half of what Leslie said is true about, him trying to force her to an abortion and sicking Bill on her, all of that. And speaking of Haley's husband, Bill is going to be called to account for his part in Ted's deception and this long-standing lie. Obviously, the Duprees are going to be upset. A lot of other people are going to be as well. I'm guessing Bill's daughters won't like this. Chelsea and Naomi are not going to want to find out that Bill was threatening a pregnant woman. I mean, it's really twisted. And yet I totally believe it, because this is Bill. But Vernon also may have to dial back anybody kind of making overt threats at Bill because he's still holding on to that juicy tidbit about Martin's big secret that he's keeping about whatever happened that dark night. I hope they don't keep dragging that out for too long. I don't like when soaps do that. I was reading an interview about soap writers the other day, and it was saying something like, you want to make them cry, make them laugh, but don't make them wait. And that secret has been lurking too long, I think. They started it early on, and now we're 48 episodes in, The families reconsider their loyalties in the wake of these revelations on Thursday. I mean, obviously, they're going to be Team Nicole. Maybe shove Turtleneck Ted into the same category as Big Bad Bill, right? However, I do have to say that Bill's still my favorite on this show, but I like a big, tall, meaty guy. That's just me. Friday, May 9th, Season 1, Episode 49. The Duprees try to mend the rift in the family. I would absolutely expect Vernon and Anita and Dani to circle the wagons around Nicole. This is actually a great chance for Dani because she's the one who's always in crisis and everybody's always having to protect her. So this is really a chance for her to step up, be there for Nicole in a way that her sister has never needed her to before. I see some potential there. Hopefully they'll cut Ted out of their life and everybody's going to try to protect the kids. I do wonder if anybody's going to give Eva any consideration in this. Obviously, Leslie's a nutbag, but she has also been gaslighting Eva for a long time. Kat sees two people doing the dirty, and it could be something life-changing for her. She's going to be lurking around, maybe still stalking Eva, maybe looking into Leslie. Let's hope it's not one of them doing something that they shouldn't. Hopefully it's not like Tomas and Eva or anything. Hopefully not. But when people are at low points, they do wild things. So Eva is really struggling also with her desire to make amends. I think in particular to Nicole, who's been extremely nice to her and in many aspects to Ted, because now she's starting to see he's not exactly the villain her mom said he was. I think he's a different kind of villain, because Leslie said your dad didn't want you, meaning he didn't want to ever know you, but Ted never wanted to know her. He didn't want her to be born. So it's not like it's great news, but Eva's got daddy issues, so she's gonna want to get to know her dad. And she may even want to make amends to Kat because bottom line, this is her sister, and all of this hatred was based on Leslie's lies she told her, but the truths are just as ugly as the lies when you think about it.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.